It's ShyneBoiKash, DTK 500 SOS, and I'm rocking with XO Underground.
SOS, nigga, VL, violent living, nigga. Fuck a bitch.
Yeah, long Terry.
You a broke ass bitch, poppin' perk fives. These niggas know who not to play with. This shit be suicide. Buy this fucking Jeep and lay the law down. With this MP45 I got from cross the town. Finna pull up, drop this window and chop this bitch out. Young nigga front that filth, no forgetting bags in that drought. Hit the road and that Alfa Romero. Finna get a load in, shot out the peso. Finna back door, cut his throat, then I get the load. Working with that word at 223 to a nigga no.
Yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
It's ShyneBoiKash, SOS, DTK 500, and I'm rocking with XO. It's ShyneBoiKash, DTK 500 SOS, and I'm rocking with XO Underground.
How did you get into music? Like, where did that inspiration come from? Like, growing up, was you always into music, just doing a little freestyle, seeing everybody on the TV, or what? Like, how did that go?
Like, well, my mom and shit used to play like No Limit and shit like that, like Soldier Slim, so I always been attracted to shit like that. But like, shit, honestly, goddamn, like just me getting like going through like a little addictions and shit, like that shit really play a part of my music. Goddamn, like shit, hell yeah, just shit like that. Like hard shit that I be going through, that shit really play a part. I ain't really get influenced by music through music.
So you got influenced by music through like taking part in drugs and shit?
Shit, like yeah, I had a little drink addiction and shit. That's how I got into that shit.
Right.
Like opiates and shit. It's like how I channeled that shit into that. Goddamn. But other than that, shit, yeah, that's where I get my shit from. Like just getting deep.
For sure. You know, that's a good thing that you brought that up. What was your first time being high like? Do you remember that?
Shit. I ain't gonna lie, bro. My first time getting high, I ain't gonna lie. I got high off something that wasn't even meant to get high from. Like, I got, a nigga had put some shit in a Black and Mild, bro.
Hey,
like,
chill.
Nigga, I was smoking blacks and shit like that before weed. Cause like, that was we smoking in Florida. Yeah, nigga had laced the goddamn black and shit. That's my first time getting high, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah. You remember your initial reaction? Like, you started freaking out and shit?
I wasn't tripping. I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't tripping. Let's do this. Shit where I'm from in Florida. Like, nigga smoke, boom. Like, a nigga know what that shit smell like and shit. Just a nigga never smelled that shit in no goddamn black. You feel me? So that shit was different. Like, that shit was some whole other shit. You feel me? Like, I ain't necessarily just tweak out, but I got tweaked out. Like, I got the drawing up and shit.
Yeah.
Motherfucking spitting everywhere, coughing up people goddamn throat and shit. That shit was just some other shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I still to this day don't know what bro put in that shit, bro. That shit had a nigga throat. I ain't gonna lie.
And that shit remained a mystery, huh?
Shit, yeah. But like, that shit would probably melt for some shit. You feel me? Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, niggas was smoking Molly back then. Like, now that I think about that shit.
Right.
So it's probably a Molly black. Like, that's frequent.
Hell yeah, I fuck with that shit. That reminds me of this one song called Sherm Stick.
Hell yeah, that shit like damn near like shit. That shit just like whatever he put in that shit was like GHB, like just like Sherm.
Oh fuck!
But I
can't believe you've done this.
For sure.
Hell yeah. That shit, bro. Like that Sherm a different game though. Like that shit had me tweaking like Sherm, but I wasn't feeling invincible.
Yeah.
Like I was just feeling like sick down there, like just too high.
Yeah, I know like when people get into drugs, like everybody have different reactions and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Cause you know you got the tweakers, and then you got the people that be chilling.
That shit could have turned me into one of them, but I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a regular black. You feel me? So I ain't never necessarily like tweak out how I normally like how you would regularly tweak out.
Yeah.
I ain't tweak out how I think I was supposed to tweak out. You feel me? Because I know folks that done got laced and shit that done went crazy for real.
For sure. Yeah. You remember what age you was?
Shit. That wasn't Watkins, that was The Wire. So 9th grade, like right before I dropped, well, I had did 9th grade twice.
Bitch. What's up, bro?
Hey, you ain't got no blood? Hey, chill. But I had. Hey, you ain't got no blood?
You know, that's a good thing that you brought that up. What was your first time being high like? Do you remember that?
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, bro. My first time getting high, I ain't gonna lie. I got high off something that wasn't even meant to get high from. Like, a nigga had put some shit in a black and mild, bro.
Kill shot!
Probably like 15, 16, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Nah, I ain't even gonna say 16 because I know for sure I was in the 9th grade. So I was like 15. Probably not even the 9th grade. That shit was probably when I was in middle school still walking. Because I was staying somewhere completely different.
Okay.
I was staying with my mama.
Was that like the first drug you ever experienced, or like was weed the first?
Shit, like, I had been smoking, bro, but I wasn't smoking. Like, I wasn't inhaling that shit. You feel me? So like, and then I wasn't spending my money on it, so I wasn't making sure I got high. You feel me? I was just stealing that shit.
Bye.
I feel that. Hell yeah.
So goddamn, I knew how to roll and shit, but I don't think I was getting high. So like, when I actually hit that shit, like I ain't know you supposed to hit that shit and inhale like how you hit a black and inhale. You feel me? So I usually just hit it and let the smoke come out. But like when I hit that black and shit, I knew I was high, cause like nigga, when I got home, bruh, I just laid on the floor. Like I slept on the floor already, you feel me? But I just laid on the floor, like it was cold. So I was like some different shit going on. I never felt like that off no nicotine. Like no tobacco made me feel like I was sick, you feel me? Blacks do, but it ain't make me feel like that.
Yeah.
So I knew I was like high. Yeah. Then I had when it got like a fucking drug test and shit, cause I used to get drug tested. And I had tested it for it was, but nothing popped up and shit, you feel me? And like, but the nigga was like, yeah, he laced all his blacks, that's a for sure thing. So like, I just went with that shit, you feel me? He told me, he was like, it's something funny about it, but like he always joked like that, so I just took that shit to the T.
Yeah, I feel me.
You feel me?
Hey, shit,
I was a young nigga too, so I couldn't really do nothing. I wasn't supposed to be smoking anyway.
Yeah, I mean, shit, that's the part of being young and growing up, man. You gotta experience shit in order to get past that shit, for real.
I ain't happy, I ain't tweak out of nothing.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Shit, by the looks of it, man, you seem pretty good and shit,
Yeah,
man. You
straight.
definitely sane, bro.
When I tell you I didn't tweak out, bro, I just literally like, bro, I put it to you like this. A nigga can lace me right now, bro. I know a nigga lace me if I get sick. You feel me? Cause I'm the type of nigga, I eat once a day. So like, the food will rule that shit, like, that's gonna rule it out off top. I eat once a day, so it's not the food. It's whenever I smoke, drunk, or goddamn, you feel me, pop. That's how I just put it like that, nigga. You feel me? I'm gonna always put it like that.
Alright.
Yeah.
So you said you was addicted to the drink.
Hell yeah,
So,
for a little while, like opiates, period. Like, shit, like, goddamn, like, as far as like getting high, like smoking and shit, like, I ain't started getting high, like, I was smoking until like 17. But like, as far as like popping pills and shit, I've been popping pills with my great grandma. Used to sell perks and shit like that. Like, she used to sell her medication, so I always been stealing like little pills because I used to catch on. Like, nigga, it ain't obvious to tell what a J is. Goddamn, so grandma goddamn serving J's. I'm trying to see what the fuck that shit is, and it ain't what my dad's serving.
Right.
So it's some other shit.
Hell yeah.
Goddamn, so I was popping perks and shit like Openas. That's when they had like the first wave of good perks, like Openas and shit. Then I had switched to Xans, like benzos. That like I always just go back to perks and shit. Goddamn, I don't know. That was just like what she was selling the most, so that's what I could get my hands on. Not even on no junkie shit, just young nigga just getting high, shit like that.
Right.
You feel me?
For sure.
Yeah. But a nigga ended up getting addicted on some shit and not even knowing. So like, I moved to Georgia and shit, couldn't find none of that shit. Goddamn, mind you, my grandma ended up dying. So goddamn, like, nigga ass couldn't have shit really, because like everything, you feel me, divided up. Like, nigga ass only know oxycodones and Xanax, for real. And drink, because I was like, a nigga ass was getting drink, goddamn, for the longest.
So you was like already into opioids and shit, like
my
before
first
you
time
came to.
Shit, I was fucking with opiates before I was smoking weed for real. Like, nigga ass used to just buy weed, just buy it, like, smoking shit. Like, I ain't even gonna say smoke with no hoe. Niggas used to be buying. Niggas used to just steal weed, to just steal it, roll up, post on Instagram, Facebook and shit, smoke. Like cigarettes and shit. Like, I've been smoking cigarettes. Like, I've been buying tobacco from the store since like 11. Like, that's fat. Like, so I've been getting that shit.
Oh yeah. So like when you came to Atlanta, it was more like a like almost you gotta get sold like a little point in time to sober.
Nigga, I went from smoking exotic and shit to goddamn smoking bullshit. Cause like, nigga, when I moved here, I ain't gonna lie. Like, well, back then it was no such a thing as exotic. Like, well, when I moved here, it was no such a thing as exotic.
Right.
Shit, you feel me? Like, nigga just had gas and some OG, but in my city, like, the exotic wave really hit, like, when I left, or right before I left. So, like, I went from smoking throw shit to smoking other type shit. Mm-hmm. But for free, though, goddamn, man, that shit just wasn't it. Like, I just went sober for a little while, just fucking with opiates and shit.
I'm gonna go get a black
Alright, that's how that shit really kicked in. Like, that's how that opiate shit really kicked in.
For sure. What was like your first month in Atlanta? Like, describe that. Like, did you find friends quickly or like?
Shit, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I ain't never been no nigga that hung with like people my age, so I was in the trap and shit. Like, when I moved here, my first day moving here, I had called my dad and seen.